yards on the return that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now a 1st down throw. Watson dumps it complete to Miller. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Navarro Bowman in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Let's go!
Now a 1st carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. 3rd and long. It's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dontari Poe with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
There he goes left side. Touchdown, Falcons. Tyreek Hill, 92 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams. The guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out comes Houston. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. Comfortably up over 100 yards when cruising past that number, and 2 touchdowns.
How'd you like to be the D coordinator this week? He watched that game last week, and I know his first thought was, we have to find a way to take him out of the game plan. We cannot let him do that to us.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The numbers for Miller in last week's ball game. 13 carries, 67 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the #1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people up and downfield.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw on on second is Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And they'll give Miller another crack. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Lambo will put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Whitney Merciless in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Second down, Bridgewater. They go screenplay to Langford. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
There's Matt Bosher now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And we will not see another play as time has run out on this first quarter. 7-3 the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third.
Here we go.
From the gun, here's Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think of.
And he's going to go down. It's a sack on Kaepernick. Whitney Merciless in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he's been taught, right?
This is intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did. And obviously, they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
Without a doubt, the fade route is tough to stop if your wide receiver and quarterback are on the same page and the ball is placed in the proper spot.
And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Tyreek Hill set to return it. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Kaepernick. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Whitney Merciless in there to get him. And that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. Out cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They do go for it. It's Kaepernick dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Now that looked like the Colin Kaepernick we got to know early in his career. Able to scramble and pick up a first down. We haven't seen as much of that in recent times.
Yeah, you always got the size to do it. Out of high school, 6'5", 170, but now 230, and we see what he can do with that frame.
And I heard people didn't want to step in as a hitter against him because he's a pretty darn good pitcher in high school, too.
92-mile-per-hour fastball in high school. They'll run again with Presley. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Now, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Kaepernick going to throw. Flush to his right. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does. And that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
A good effort there from distance, but he might have needed a little more help from the air conditioning behind him on that one.
It probably would have helped. This is awfully close to getting there. It was right on target, but it winds up being just a little bit short.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You may also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down.
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Miller. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the gun on 3rd, Watson, right side, caught Fedorowicz. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Back now. As I search for my cue card here, there we go. Coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis from our first half of play. Well, thank you. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense, finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
This is fielded at the goal line. It is up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Shift together here from the D-line. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A good pickup there, 22.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Navarro Bowman in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I won't wait until the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently.
The Texans on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. A shotgun snap for Watson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of a turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Second down following the run. Working from the gun, it's Kaepernick. Escaping the pressure right. And he completes it to Jordy Nelson. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. To throw, Kaepernick. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now Kaepernick throwing on second down. And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Picked off here the 32. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Lambeau will put this one through. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
Not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though this offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points.
So we've come upon halftime. Sorry, Larry, your hard work appreciated by so many men and women, but not today as we get back to the action in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They have the lead, now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
To throw on second down, Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Sammy Coates has it complete. That one goes for 24 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. 10th carry now for Lamar Miller. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another first down run right there.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Hopkins, the one receiver right. Watson now to throw on 2nd down. And he floated one out there, incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, that force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. DeAndre Hopkins hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here's the dangerous Tyreek Hill. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On play action, it's Kaepernick. And finding the tight end Hooper. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Kaepernick now to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
To throw, it's Kaepernick. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Kaepernick now on 3rd and goal. Being chased out left. It's caught. Jones. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. He hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection. Ryan to Jones there. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Kaepernick forced out to his left. The left side completion to Jones. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And when he started rolling left there as a right-handed quarterback, I thought, boy, this third down play is going nowhere, but credit to him, able to pick up the first.
And all you righties who are watching the game at home, get out of your chair, get off the couch, move to your left, and then rifle one. You may leave a hole in the wall, as you have to explain later, but you'll see how difficult that throw actually was.
Again, they'll throw with Kaepernick. Buying time to his left. Say what you want, but Kaepernick's still one of the best at doing that as the scramble gets him a first.
Here we go.
Into the red zone now. Kaepernick flushed out right. Throwing right, and that's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the...
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Eric Saubert from 13 yards out. And the Falcons get a bit closer. You felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of...
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Watson now to throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On 1st and 10, Watson. And bringing it in, this is Selleck over the middle. And that is what you call a hit stick. Put down to the ground hard.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterbacks, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
To the sideline, wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. What would he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And he's got it over the middle. Fedorowicz. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Now it's Watson. A bootleg. On the right side, this is Miller. Well, the offense lining up 1st and 10. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now a first down throw, Watson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jalen Collins. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. And that's caught inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Kaepernick now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Bernardrick McKinney leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up and making sure it was a catch.
Eluding the pressure right. A swing pass caught. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work what.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Jeremy Langford with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out behind the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
They begin with a run by Miller. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
They are underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. Going long for Coates. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On the counter, Langford. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, after those plays, the offense coordinator has to feel like he has balance in his favor. Threw it, then ran it, both for nice chunks of yardage. Now it feels like he's got things going in his direction, but the defensive coordinator...
And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Colin Kaepernick with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened when they went up 3 scores. I wrote on your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
A little salt, a little pepper, it goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up. Because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like he still harbors some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here's Watson. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Navarro Bowman able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his 3rd.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run the ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
34 yards on the return to go all the way. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Jeremy Langford, and he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
And I think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it first and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. They'll run here with Langford. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now a handoff. It's Langford. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Jeremy Langford, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. To try is Watson. And this one caught by Coates. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Watson trying to get his guys moving. To throw on second is Watson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the 50, it's Watson. And finding Fedorowicz. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
On first down, it's Watson. Brought in by Coates. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here's Watson now on second down. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And with the clock ticking under 50 seconds now, he spikes it.
Well, not the position they want to be in. Still a very, very small chance here, but they almost need a miracle.
Agreed. That means they've got to get it to the sidelines, get out of bounds, and preserve clock.
Again, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Navarro Bowman in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Third and long, it's Watson. He's going to let it fly. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Helmet to ground, rear of helmet for quarterbacks, that we would like to put the idea out there of something might be done with the countermeasures.
They run with Langford. And a short gain down to about the 33. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
We'll talk about it in just a moment. We had a round 1 winner that was known as Vitatech, and they proposed putting something to the exterior of the helmet that would be brandable as performance. So one could envision something going on the rear of that exterior of the helmet.
Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles. And really the difference, obviously, was that fourth quarter. They dominated.
And it has to start with believing that you can make that comeback. Because we've been in games before. We've done games where you just look at one team and realize they have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.
So for Atlanta, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for Houston, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.
Helmet impact. We have a helmet test.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say...